Rank makers, what is up? Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. What's going down? Awesome sauce, awesome sauce. So welcome. We got I think this will be major insights for you. I really believe that. Let me see if I can flip this puppy around, since I may or may not be using the whiteboard. I'm not sure. Okay, what's up, Christy, Mimi, morning. What's going on? Let me see here. There we go. All right. Stephanie in the house. What's up? Nina Pinta Santa Maria. What's up, Mimi again? Lisa. All right. So let's get the party started, because I think this might be an intense training for you. Think you'll enjoy it. What's up, Melina? Am I saying that right? It's a cool name. Kristen. All right. So we'll have Weekend Warrior contest updates for you probably in the next couple days, to go through all the numbers, and we may need to reach out to some people, etc. But if you got a number up, yes, congratulations. Whether you won or not, you are a winner because you showed up, you put a number on the board, so congratulations, it's awesome. If you did not, maybe you missed the memo, just pay attention. And, you don't have to watch all the trainings in Rank Makers. I don't even know if that's humanly possible anymore, because when you join Rank Makers, you're getting access to a lot of training, and it literally could go on for maybe the rest of your life. But I would suggest at least trying to catch the Ray dailies, where we just do the daily training and the daily action step. I would at least try to catch one of those, as we do them each and every day, and rock it out. Yep, thank you, Mimi. Appreciate that. And so let's go ahead. We'll get into the action step first. Some of you are brand new to the group, so this will be your first time experiencing the Monday goal setting. And so Monday is the day that we set our goals so that we can celebrate on Friday. Now, as I always say, there's no trophy for size of goals. So it's not like, don't try to impress us with your, I'm going to talk to 1,000 people. Hey, if you can and you will, then rock on, go for it. But don't try to impress anyone or yourself with the size of goals. I want you to set goals that'll stretch you a little bit, but you'll be able to celebrate on Friday. Now, isn't that contrary to saying shoot for the stars? I'm saying shoot for the stars. Shoot for being a billionaire. Shoot for making $1 million a minute. Shoot for whatever size of goal. There's no judgment there, and I encourage you to shoot for the stars, but not each week. That's the difference. So, if you're shooting for the stars and I would, going to network marketing company events, and someone that has, yet to hit the first rank is like, Ray, I'm going to be the top earner in the company. And it's like, all right, let's get you into action first. Let's get you progressing and prospecting first. Let's get you into good habits first. And then let's get you to the very top. And so shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars, shoot for, billionaire status, whatever, trillionaire, whatever. But just not on a weekly basis, because if you continuously erode your integrity, your word, the way that you show up, if you continually erode the words that you say don't mean anything, then that's going to impact you. It's going to impact who joins you. It's going to impact who wants to work with you, et cetera, and so forth. And so I want you to set activity goals, and I'll explain that here in a second, activity goals that you will be able to celebrate on Friday. And so activity goals are not result goals. Result goals are, I want to recruit 5 people, or 10 or whatever. I want to recruit X number of people. I want to make X number of dollars. I want to generate X amount of volume. I would much rather you do the habits, do the activity that will help you get those results, right? And so how many people are you going to reach out to? How much self-development are you going to do? Are you going to exercise? Maybe that's a goal of yours. Are you going to read a certain number of chapters? Are you going to consume a certain amount of training? Whatever. All of those are activity goals that will help you reach your results. And so if you become addicted to the activity, the results will show up. It'll show up every single time. Believe me, they will. And so most people, they say, I really want this, or I wish I had this, or whatever. And they're focusing on a result, but they're not doing the activity. They'll never get the result. So we got to do the activity, because activity precedes the results. So be focused on your activity. Now, I would encourage you to write the goals down, have them on a piece of paper, physically, kinesthetically writing them on a piece of paper. I think is very powerful. I think it's the most powerful thing that you can do. If you would like to, share in the group, here are my goals for the week, you certainly can. Maybe give some people inspiration, maybe give them some ideas. You can comment in this thread if you'd like to do that. Totally cool. Kind of saying, hey guys, here's what I'm going to do publicly, and then keep your word. Keep your word. Now, if you set these last week and you didn't come anywhere close to them, then reevaluate. Don't set the same goal, right? Reevaluate and say, okay, what can I set that's maybe a little bit more reasonable that I can hit? Stretch me a little bit, but I'll be able to celebrate, because I want you to celebrate on Friday. I don't want you beating yourself up. Entrepreneurs, network marketers, we beat ourselves up way too much, and I don't want you to continue that cycle. I want you to start to feel good about your progress, because you're keeping your word, you're of integrity, you're making it happen. All right? So there you go. There's your action step. Do the goals. Write down your goals to celebrate on Friday. There you go. All right. So the big debate. Team fight. The big debate. The big debate. And I've heard this throughout my career in network marketing. And by the way, when I say I don't require acceptance or approval, I really mean that, right? Like I mean, I've had other trainers tell me that they disagreed with what I taught. I appreciate opinions, and I will definitely listen to people. If they have a good point, I'll be like, you know what, good point. But I don't require the acceptance and approval of others, whether it's a prospect, whether it's a fellow trainer, whether it's whatever. Doesn't mean I'm not coachable. I might be the most coachable person on the planet, because I'm like, hey, I hire a lot of coaches. I'm like, tell me your opinions. I ask for feedback all the time. I remember when I shared with you guys that one period of my life, it was kind of a terrible period, but at one period of my life, I was traveling a lot, right? So I was 22 days a month, Vegas, Chicago, Phoenix, Miami, LA, and I would fly into a city, and people that didn't know me, 90-minute pitch, selling a $7,000 real estate education kind of software and package. And when I was done, so we would fly in, and there would be a market manager there. And when I first started with that company, I think there was like 4, maybe 5 speakers, and then they grew to have more speakers. But when I would fly in, when I was finished, I would go to the market manager, who got to see everybody, he saw every speaker, and I would say, hey, what did you like? What do you think I could improve? And almost every market manager said, you're the only guy that asked that. Nobody else asks us our opinion. No one else asks us for feedback, and they just kind of come in here like a diva, and they do their stuff and demand a coffee, and then they fly out. And I just thought, man, these people see presentations every single week. Surely they're seeing something that they think is cool, and they could give me feedback to make me better. And so I kind of have a insatiable desire to become better. But I don't let that hamper me if I just know psychologically something that works, right? And so I realize that not everyone may agree with my way of thinking when it comes to this exact topic, but I'm gonna tell you psychologically why I prefer a certain way, but also how other ways work, all right? So the big debate is, should we build rapport? Right? Should we build rapport with each and every individual that we talk to? How many questions is it? Is it kids? Is it occupation, recreation, family? Like how many questions do we ask? How long do we go? Is it 3 weeks? Is it 2 days? Is it 6 hours? Like what is the length of time to build rapport? Or do we just like hit the numbers and just like hardly build rapport with anybody and just like boom, 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 bow, right? So I'm gonna share with you some thoughts here. So let's talk about, I want to make sure you don't have a glare here. Let me see if I can lock my wheels. My wheels, man. Wheels on the whiteboard go around and around. I was just listening to that. Okay, so we'll just call it the rapport approach. Now, that doesn't mean that speed is the non-rapport approach, but we'll just say that there's kind of a rapport approach, right? Like I don't want to too hastily prospect somebody, ask them if they're open, yada, 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 right? And then more of the, we can just call this the go for numbers. Okay, I don't know maybe there's a better word for it, I don't know. And so, rapport or go for numbers. And first of all, let me be the first to say that I know major earners, major leaders in both categories. So can you become a top earner by being just impressive at building rapport? For sure. Can you be a top earner by going for the numbers? For sure. So let's first put that to bed, right? There is no, oh, if you do this, and no chance. Same with this, okay? Now, why would someone argue so strongly for or against the other, okay? I'm going to tell you one of the keys that distinguishes, I don't know how to say this really, but one of the keys that takes someone from good trainer to next level trainer. And that's the ability to see past their personality, the ability to see past their experiences. And so most trainers, and I won't do a full recap, but most of you know what Larry and Taylor Thompson teach, which is the 80%, 15, and 5, right? And so 80% of people in any network marketing team have the desire level of $0 to $500 a month. That's their desire level. If they're at the event taking a selfie with you and high-fiving you, they're happy as can be. So who are you to tell them they're not successful, right? And so 80%, now this is not results, I'm saying desire. Desire level, $0 to $500 a month, okay? 15%, $2,000 to $3,000 a month. 5%, $25,000 or more per month. Now, the problem with this is these almost always become your trainers, okay? 5%ers, right? Like there are major training courses and major books in the network marketing space that don't even teach getting customers. Don't even teach it. Why? Because it was crafted by a 5%er, right? And so they speak very, very well to other 5%ers. They do not speak very well to 80 and 15%ers. And so these guys feel like they're not enough, and they usually end up quitting, to be honest. They usually say, oh, I'm not supposed to be here, so let me just get the hell out of here, right? So and I'll tell you, I'll give you a great example. So I was at a company event, and this guy got up on stage who is known as he's just a beast, man. I mean, he's just a freaking beast. He's a freak of nature. And he gets up on stage and he says, I recruited the first 60 people I talked to. I was 60 for 60, and here's exactly what I said, right? And he said what he said, which was not like, oh, wow, that's so magical and hypnotic and NLP-ish, right? Persuasive. It wasn't, but he said it, and people are like, whoa. So you say 80%, whoa. I mean, they're breaking their wrists, a carpal tunnel, right? I mean, we're passing out ibuprofens for their wrists because they're so frantic, yeah, right? Because they think there's some kind of magic in that script, which there's not, okay? That's a 5%er who doesn't understand he's a 5%er and that not everyone else is the same, okay? So anybody that goes 60 for 60 had a major advantage because of how they were seen by the people they went to, okay? So that is not people can't take his script and go get the next 60 people they talk to, right? It isn't going to happen. And setting up that kind of expectation is a very, very bad mistake. Very bad. So the problem with most trainers, right, is they're from the 5% land, and that's how they teach. Now, why do I know this? Because I was the same thing. I was the same thing. So I would create training. I would run team calls. If you're not talking to 10 people a day, what's wrong with you, man? Right? And so I would go all crazy and go ham all over them. And, these guys were like, I don't know. Maybe I should get the hell out of here, right? And so I was teaching other 5%ers foaming at the mouth. Yeah. Right? They were loving it, man. So understand that when someone really strongly argues, you gotta build rapport, man, they can't get out of their own way. If someone says, you gotta go for numbers, F report, they can't get out of their own way. So they're only seeing the world in the way that their personality is and the way that they think. A next level trainer will say, hey, you know what? This may or may not apply to you. Both of these kind of things work, but let me give you the ups and the downs, okay? Let me give you the ups and the downs. And so this is a very, very important psychology that if you understand, I really think you will go to the next level. I really, really will, all right? And so let's talk about building rapport. So what's good about building rapport, right? Feels nice, right? Kind of feels nice. You're just a nice person, right? I'm just like, hey, how you doing today? Hey, how are you? Oh, how's those kids? How's little Timmy doing in softball? You doing a good job? Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, right? So it feels nice, right? It certainly can work. Can work. By the way, you may think I'm setting this up for failure. I'm not, but I am going to point out some things. Okay, I am going to point out some things. So what's so let's talk about, it feels nice, right? Is I would say that for most people to build rapport, it doesn't have to be that difficult, right? So what can be the problem? Okay, what can be the problem? Okay, it can take too long. Okay, it can, we can never pop the question, right? Like when, it creates questions. When do we pop the question? Now, if you are charismatic, if you're a charismatic person, if you are a people person, if you're someone that, when you go to the bar, the church, the community, the whatever, when you walk in the room, everyone's like, yo, Tony, what's up, man? Ow, my man, Al, woo, right? If you're that person, it's just your groove, baby. That's where you are. You can rock this all day, all night. The problem that I have with this, in my opinion, and this is Rank Makers, right? This is our group. This is my opinion. I think that if you don't have charisma, if you aren't naturally a really good people person, I think this is very difficult for people. I think it's very difficult. Pay attention to what I'm about to say, okay? I think it's very easy to feel nice, right? Very easy to feel nice. I think it's very difficult to get results if you're not a people person, if you're not charismatic, if you're not high emotional intelligence, if you're not someone who just has that great ability to, communicate well. I'll be honest. I'm very, very good when it comes to, you want to talk to me about business? I'm pretty darn good, I think. You want to talk about marketing? Hey, buckle up, bucko. We can talk all day long. You just want to chit chat? You want small talk? I'm just not good at it, man. And I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People. I've read, I've gone through Carnegie courses. I've gone through different things. And, I think the last personality kind of test, I kind of said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just not good at it. I'm just not good. And so one of the problems that I see here is people spending way too much time on a prospect without asking the question. Now, every single time I tell you a negative about this category, I'm going to tell you it works, in my opinion, if you have those traits. If you have those traits, okay? So I can see, take too long, too much time with the prospect. How do I make the awkward transition, right? Oh, I'm so awkward. If your goal is results, here's what I'm going to encourage you to think about. Is the result you desire to look good. If your goal, and by the way, that's most of humanity. Most of humanity's goal is not to impact the world, is not to solve problems, is not to provide clean drinking water situations around the world, right? Is not to cease human suffering. The majority of humanity, their goal, look good. How do I look good? Right? And it's, if you recall, a few days ago, I shared the story of, the Vanderbilts, right? So, the Commodore and his son were the richest people in the world, right? At one point, worth in today's dollars, $300 billion, which is, it's a lot if you think about it. They had more money than was in the U.S. Treasury, okay? And what happened is they went from production to looking good. Let's impress the socialites. Let's build, 10 mansions on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Let's build, the Biltmore. Let's build this. Let's really start impressing some people, man. That's the key. That's the key to success. Not solving problems with steamboats or railroads. Let's impress some people, man. We're done with all that production stuff and solving problem stuff and adding value stuff. Let's impress some people. So, if your goal is to look good, this, oh girl, right? This is your jam right here, man. Build rapport. If you want to look good, because this, oh, jerk, man, always to the point. This guy, right? This, you're not going to look good. I'm just here to tell you, you're not. No one's going to say, oh, what a sweetheart, what a sweet young man. Wow, what a real sweetie. Okay. This does not adhere to looking good. It doesn't, okay? Now, this, to me, looking good, and by the way, again, can this work? Definitely. Do I know juggernauts? Do I know masters of the universe that are amazing at this? Yes. But what I'm saying is if you don't possess the emotional intelligence of knowing how to mix charisma with also getting results, which I think is a much smaller percentage of the population than you would think, this can cause frustration. Because you think you're helping everybody, right? I'm helping everyone because I'm just asking them how little Timmy's doing, right? You think you're helping everyone and you feel like you're looking good, right? But if you don't have the charisma, the personality type, if you don't have the ability to move from personality type, from, I'm building rapport to I'm now building a business, this can be very frustrating. I believe this is less duplicatable. If the goal is results. If the goal is I want my team to really feel good about what we're doing and, those guys don't need to make money, teach building rapport. Teach asking questions. Teach, hey, you know what? If the business comes up, it comes up, babies. If it comes up, it comes up, babies. Right? That's what you should teach. If this isn't the goal, but the goal is, I just want to make it real easy peasy for everybody. I want everyone to, feel really good. Right? And so, why do obviously, I prefer this method. Okay? Now, do I have a personality bias? Yes. And I'll probably be the only trainer to tell you that, right? Yes, I do. I do have a personality bias. Absolutely. If you have charisma, if you are the hit of the party, if you walk into the bar and everyone's like, Joe, woo, Joe, love you, right? That was never me. It wasn't. If I walk into a business event, I might get that. I walk into a personal situation, not that guy. Right? I'm just not. And it's, I don't know why not, but I'm just not. It's just not me. It's just not me. If you're that person, rock it out. My only encouragement to you is twofold. Number one, be very careful that the people you recruit don't think that they have to spend as much time with each prospect as you do, or that you are recruiting via charisma. If you are recruiting via charisma, you're not very duplicatable at all, right? Now, I'm telling you, that's a very important. So the couple things that I would warn you with in here, okay, is one, use tools, okay? use tools, and 2, have a plan to try to get to the point. This isn't I've been building rapport for 6 months. This is a very, very big deal, because I see people that they're just not good at transitioning from building rapport to asking for the business. And so they will just build rapport. What are you doing today? I'm building rapport. There is no rank in any network marketing company that says, okay, well, how much rapport did you build? Okay, good. You're diamond, right? There's no comp plan on the planet that says how much rapport was gained this week, right? I'm not, again, every time I'm going to give you a negative, I'm going to give you a positive. Can you build it? Yes, absolutely. If this was my personality, it's really hard to truly strip out my personality and just truly just negate my thoughts here. If this was my personality, I would hope, honestly, I really mean this, I would hope that I would be able to see that personality and charisma and building rapport is harder to duplicate. Now, I'm biased. I'm telling you, I'm biased. And by the way, if you never want to do this, don't do it, right? If you're good, I would just encourage you, look at this. Because I know a lot of people that tell me how good they are at building rapport that don't have results. They're liked by everybody. Oh, you inspire me. You're so inspiring. I don't want to join you, but you're so inspiring. And then all of a sudden you see that person join somebody else and you're like, what the? I asked you about your family. I asked you about your occupation. I sent little Timmy brownies for winning the softball championship. I just say, well, they may think that they can't duplicate you. They may think that, man, I can't spend this much time with each prospect. Jeez. You mean I gotta know how to be super nice and charisma and this and that and this and that and that? I gotta know all this? Wow. Not everyone can duplicate this. That is a fact. I don't care if you agree with this method or not. That's a fact. It is a fact. Not everyone can duplicate charisma, but everybody can use tools. Everyone can use tools, okay? So, what's the bad about going for the numbers, okay? It can seem mechanical, right? You're like an Android, I must get 20 no's today, right? It can seem mechanical. It doesn't make you look good, right? Like no one's going to call you a sweetheart. No one's going to send you baked cookies because you said, hey, are you open? If you are, great. If not, no big deal. No one sent me cookies and said, wow, it was such a great time chatting with you because we chatted for about a minute, maybe 2, okay? A minute or 2, okay? It's mechanical, for sure. It doesn't make you look good, all right? Now, I'm not saying, now you can do this, and I believe, I'm biased, right? So maybe I'm full of crap, who knows? But I believe that you have a greater chance of duplication here. Do you know why? One word. Time. When I would reach out to people, and by the way, there are other factors that I've yet to mention, okay? There are other factors that I've yet to mention, okay? Such as, who are you prospecting? If I'm prospecting a cold market person, I'm telling you right now, and it's offline. See, there's online, there's offline. There's cold market, there's warm market. There's people I know very, very well, people I only know a little bit, right? So there are other factors here. There are people, by the way, higher socially connected. I have a little bit different rule for them. Okay? The reason I say time is not even your time. That's what's crazy about this. But the time that your prospect sees you spending. If my time over here, so what's my time over here? So what's my time over here? I mean, it's kind of a mystery, right? Isn't it? Is it 6 emails? Is it 3 calls? Is it 4 questions? Like what is it? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. Is it dinner? Is it breakfast? Is it brunch? Is it? I'm not clear. Okay, I'm not clear. Okay, over here, let me just break down the different scenarios. So, offline, cold, right? So if I'm prospecting someone offline cold, okay, so this is someone offline, face to face, right? Not in the digital world. Imagine that. And I run into somebody, and they're offline cold, meaning they're a stranger. I don't know them. I'm gonna come up with some kind of thing to say. Hey, nice Colts hat. Hey, nice shoes. Where'd you get those? Hey, I see your thing says Tennessee. Are you from Tennessee? I was just up there, right? So I'm not just gonna say, hey, are you open to a business? Right? Because that's kind of strange. Like I'm not saying, hey, over here, don't be human. Just be a machine. Right? I'm not saying that. And so if I'm offline cold, I don't know them, and it's face to face. Right? I'm at a ball game, I'm at a networking meeting, I'm at whatever. Well, networking meeting has a little bit different rules, but offline cold in a networking meeting, I'm gonna give them some kind of question. Hey, you a 49ers fan? Hey, you this, you that. I'm gonna give them some kind of compliment, some kind of question. And then I'm gonna create a BIC, which is a break in communication. Okay? So I'm gonna create a break in communication. I'm gonna say, oh man, so nice talking to you. We'll chit chat a little bit. I'm not good at chit chat. I'm not good at small talk. And maybe there's more people that are. I don't know. Maybe I'm the weirdo. I don't know. But I'm just not good at that, right? And so again, I've read the books. I've gone the courses. I don't know. Maybe I'm helpless. I don't know. But I'm gonna say BIC. I'm gonna say, it's so nice talking with you. And hey, oh man, I got to jump on this conference call. But hey, listen, I'm just throwing it out there. Would you be at all open to a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? And they're going to say, well, what is it? And I say, oh man, got to jump on this conference call. But hey, listen, I promise you, if you give me your information, I promise you I'll follow up with you and see if it's a fit for you or not. It may or may not be. Now, I just want to ask you a question. Does that turn you off? Does that make you think that I'm a jerk? That how dare you, sir? How dare you not build more rapport with me before you ask me for the business? How dare you? I don't think so. I don't think so. And how much time have I actually spent with them? I guarantee you 1,000,000% less 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. Now, I'll get their information or I won't. I'll follow up with them and say, hey, wanted to reach out to you. We didn't get a chance to really talk a whole lot. But listen, I promised you that I would follow up with you about the business. I got a little video, does a much better job than I could possibly do. And hey, go check this out. Okay? Now, there are numbers that I want you to think about, okay, that I'll come back to. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. Okay? So, that's offline cold. Roughly 5 minutes, following up, pointing to a tool. Okay. Now I'm not going to cover every scenario. Well, what if they don't watch the tool, right? We've covered that before. I'll come back to this. All right. So offline cold. So offline, warm, or hot. If I run into somebody that I know, and I know them offline, face to face, and they say, Ray, how you been, man? Oh man, I've been good, dude. I'm actually going to do the same thing. I'm gonna say, what have you been up to? I'm gonna give them a couple questions. Not much. And I'm gonna say, hey man, well, I gotta jump to a dentist appointment. Tell you what, hey, I'm gonna follow up with you. I got something that you may be open to, you may or not be. I don't know, but it's something that I'm doing. I think you might like it. If you're open to it, great. If not, it's really not a big deal. But hey, are you available Monday? And I'll ask them that. Okay, so pretty similar. Also, less than 5 minutes. Okay, so online, cold. Now, this is where I think is a major area of needed improvement. Okay, so online cold. If I'm a rapport builder, because that's what we got to do, we got to build at least 6 weeks of rapport. We got to get at least 15 questions in. We got to ask about each kids sport, right? We really, and again, every time I bring a negative, I'm gonna bring a positive. There are people that I envy. Seriously, I'm not joking about this. There are people, a lot of people. In fact, some of the people that I respect the most are the best at this. The best, I'm telling you. I mean, my buddy, rest in peace, Mike Hatch. That guy, I really looked up to him. He passed away about maybe 2 years ago now, and he was so good at this. I was jealous, man. I'm like, man, I wish I had that personality type. I wish anyone that was around him be like, Mike. I mean, they just loved him. People loved him. My buddy Jake, really good at this too, right? He is the best friend of probably 50 people, right? Like I bet there are 50 people that would call him best friend, right? Not my personality type, man. I wish it was. I really do, okay? But I still, even if I possess this, I hope that I would be able to see and look at time and results and be able to deduce that a larger percentage of humanity would be able to point to tools quickly and only ask a few questions with rapport, okay? So, online cold. I'm just letting you know, a lot of people that don't know you online, do you think they might be skeptical? Do you think they might be cynical? Do you think they might have been approached before? Do you think maybe you attempting to build rapport with online cold, maybe they're waiting for the, what is it, shoe to drop? Is that the term? I don't know. I mess this one up all the time. But do you think maybe they're like, oh, here we go. Yeah, thanks. Yes, I have a nice looking dog. Thank you. Okay, what do you got to sell me? What do you got to sell me? Oh, that's so good. I used to have a Maltese, and my Maltese used to bark all the time. Again, online cold. Online cold. I think this is a critical area. Critical area. I really believe this is a critical area for you to be faster. I really believe it. Now, again, you're a master at charisma and personality and building rapport. And not only that, but you're a master at communication, because it takes at least 8 times more skills to be able to skillfully communicate through Messenger than it does face-to-face. I'm serious. Why do I say that? Because you can't read the reaction, okay? You can't read the reaction. You have to word things in a way that you're improving the chances that they'll be absorbed the way that you want them. So I'm going to tell you, those of you who think, Messenger, it's just easy, I'll just message back and forth. I'm going to tell you, I think it's 8 times, you have to be 8 times more skillful if that's your sole communication, because it's so easily misread, you can't read their reactions, and they have all the time in the world. You send them a message and hope they respond someday, right? They have all the time in the world. So I believe you have to be really skilled at online cold. And there's a trainer out there that you may know him as the Wolf of Wall Street, right? Jordan Belfort. And he, whether you like him or not, ethically, morally, did a lot of crazy stuff, no doubt, right? A lot of people hurt from what he did, et cetera and so forth. Not going there, but he trained a bunch of high school dropouts how to make millions of dollars over the phone through cold strangers. Fact. And one thing that he taught is fast disqualification. Fast disqualification. Now, if you read this book, which I'm blessed and honored to be a co-author of, or if you read the original, you'll hear stories such as a insurance company did a little test, and they were going door to door, and instead of, usually it's like, hello, I'm with Family First Insurance, and we would like to talk to you today about blah, 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 blah. And they did this, longer kind of pitch to try to get their, foot in the door, building rapport, asking questions, that sort of stuff. And they changed it to knocking on the door and saying, hey, you're not looking for insurance, are you? And because they covered more ground, their sales were up by 300%. Because they covered more ground. How did they cover more ground? Through time. Now, I just want to re-say this. If you are charismatic, if you have just those personality skill sets that I wish I had, right? If you have those things, if you possess them, and you're the rapport builder, you'll reach out to 4 people a day, and you're getting results. Pay attention, not to what you think you know, but to your freaking results. If you have charisma, if you have an amazing personality, if all those things are true and you're a rapport builder, I'm going to reach out to 4 and I'm going to know their granddaughter's name. I'm going to know where they went to high school. I'm going to know this and that. I don't possess those skills. You possess them. Fine. And you're getting results. Keep doing it. Don't veer to the dark side. Don't veer to the quick, fast disqualifiers, right? Don't do it. I'm telling you. But my encouragement to you is you better learn to use tools. Because if the people you recruit think they have to be as good as you at charisma and personality, you're going to have very little duplication in most scenarios. You got to use tools. Either scenario, this one or this one, you better use tools, man. You better use tools. Okay? This to me is more duplicatable. This to me, and that, am I being a jerk in any of them? Am I spamming people? Not at all, right? If I'm online cold, I may say something, and you know, like my wife teaches build a little bit more rapport, right? Great, it's awesome. I think she's better at social media recruiting than I am. That's why I have her teach it usually, right? But if I'm online cold, I'm going to say, hey, I saw your comment on Tony Robbins' post. I thought that was a really insightful, intelligent comment. Hey, listen, I love working with people that are smart. I don't know if you're open right now or not, but I'd love to connect with you and see if what I'm doing would interest you in any way, shape, or form. And if not, no big deal. Postured, not mean. I mean, I don't think that's mean. I don't think people are going to be like, how dare you, sir? I just don't think so. I don't think that's the case, right? And so if you're rocking the report, but you aren't getting the results, just understand it at least feels nice and you look good. Like no one's, you may be inspiring people and they're rooting you on, but they're not joining you because they don't want to do what you're doing, or they don't think they can do what you're doing because they don't think they have your charisma, your personality, your ability to connect with people, right? And so sometimes our efforts to feel good and look, to feel nice and look good can hamper our business building. At some point, you need to learn how to make that transition. And by the way, in my opinion, and you tell me if you agree, right? You may or may not. I don't know, right? I believe the length of time of building rapport, the harder their transition. Let me say that again. The length of time building rapport, the harder the transition. Why? Well, let's say that I connect with someone online cold. And I'm like, oh man, I see that you're a Colts fan. Good for you. You rock. I love the Colts, even though we completely suck this year. Yay, hopefully we'll get luck back at some point. And so we're building rapport. 6 weeks in, I'm like, hey, by the way, I've never brought it up to you, but, I have this business, and I think maybe you'd be open to it. And they say, wait a minute, dude. Have you been communicating with me for 6 weeks only to pitch me on your business? Wow. Shady, dude. Man, I thought we were just connecting as buddies. Wow. See, unless you're a master at charisma, at personality, at knowing when and how to make the transition, which I would argue most of humanity isn't, then not only do you not feel nice, look good, now you look like a jerk, right? And so if you're good at this, keep doing it, man. If you're good at this and you're getting results, keep doing it. Make sure you're using tools if you want duplication. Keep doing it. If you're like everyone else, which I'm willing to bet is a much larger percentage of the population, I would suggest getting to the point faster. I would suggest not having some kind of built up, I must send 16 emails and 42 questions. I would suggest that you go through fast disqualification in a respectful manner. in a respectful manner. This is why I don't say, hey, I got this thing, it's a no-brainer, you should totally do it. I don't say those words. I say, hey, I'm doing this thing. I don't know if you're open to it or not. If you are, great. If not, no big deal. It may or may not be a fit for you. No one's turned off when I fast disqualify. No one's turned off, right? Now, might there be, and actually I'm going to say there is, right? So what about the argument of, well, Ray, some of those people you're disqualifying quickly, if you were building rapport with them, might you recruit them? Yeah. But remember I said watch the numbers? The numbers of eyeballs on a presentation. If I get 20 times more eyeballs on a presentation over here than over here, guess who wins anyway? Guess who wins? I guarantee you. I guarantee you, the person that gets 20 times more eyeballs on a presentation is going to win, right? Now, let me give you one exception. And I don't even know, my building rapporteurs may even giggle, they may even snicker at this, okay? So, what about the case where I have an extremely socially connected, a very connected person? I might take that person to coffee. I might take them to lunch. And I might sit there and listen, put on my Judge Judy listening ears and listen to them. But I guarantee you, at the end of that transaction, at the end of that coffee, at the end of that lunch, I'm going to bring up my business. I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to say, hey, had a great lunch with you. Hey, listen, you know, it was fascinating finding out all the different things about you and what you're focused on, and it's awesome. Hey, listen, I'm doing something. I think it might be something you'd like to be involved with. And, you know, I got to run to my next meeting, my break in communication. I got to run to my next meeting, but tell you what, I'd love to reach out to you here in the next couple days and just share with you what it's about. And, you know, hey, it may or may not be a fit for you. If they're really socially connected, if I see them as a major leader, I may invest more time. May, okay? But I'm going to get to the point. It will not be 2 lunches. It will not be 2 dinners. It will not be 2 coffees. Not going to happen. I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to see if they're open to it or not. Now, does that mean I stop being their friend? Like, you know, oh, just to hell with you. You're not my team. Of course not. Of course not. And so there you go. There's a lot of moving parts to this. There's a lot of psychology behind it. If you got the charisma, if you got the personality, understand a lot of people can't duplicate that, okay? But if you got it in spades, you're great at prospecting, you build rapport with 4 people a day, 3 of them join, you got the results, bada freaking bing. If you're not getting the kind of duplication you want, make sure you're using tools. Don't let your charisma run the boat, okay? Everyone else, you may want to consider this model. You may want to consider, how can I quickly disqualify? How can I get to the point sooner? To me, I think, I could be wrong. Give me your comments. I think more people can follow this model. You need less time. It's a heavier reliance on tools. You can get more eyeballs on the presentation, for sure. It's more clear cut. Instead of, is it 6 emails? Is it 4 questions? Is it 3? You know, do I have to go and watch their kid play baseball? Like, how does this work, right? Instead of this, I'm not sureness, which someone really good at charisma and personality, they know this stuff. They can feel it out, man. They just got that magic, which I don't have, right? They got that magic where they can just, you know, move like water, right? If you don't have that, you may want to consider this. And so, open to your feedback. I hope this helps you out. Keep in mind, I really don't care if I'm not trying to win acceptance and approval. I'm trying to make you more effective. I'm trying to get your results. And so, believe me, I will not be mad at anybody that says, this is bull crap, Ray. You need to spend more time with people. Fine, cool. All right, great. No problem. I'm trying to get you more results. And we're trying to get you more results on a global scale. We're trying to get you more results in your team. You're great at personality and charisma. Congratulations. I wish I could grab some of your, you know, the gray matter out of your spine and inject it in myself, and then I'm like that too. Just my opinion. So there you go. Hope you got value from this. Set your weekly activity goals and keep rocking, guys. I appreciate you.